items that, you know, maybe not an S tier item, but is definitely in the A or B tier of meta items right now, is the Bloodthorn, right? And I think Bloodthorn is that timing of Clinkz getting Deso, typically from what I've seen anyway, Treads, Falcon Blade, Deso, Bloodthorn. Like once you get to that Bloodthorn, your damage output is insane because of the fact that, you know, that 60 damage you get off of every hit from the Bloodthorn works with the skeletons, right?
Yes. And in general, and plus, it's just the Orchid in this game is amazing because it's great against the Lifestealer, great against the Phoenix. I mean, maybe like it's great against all of them. There's no source of dispel unless, you know, maybe you can get a Chen creep to follow people around to help people. But in general, this is an amazing Orchid game for the side of Bammysoy. I think that when I think about it that way, I start thinking maybe the lineup isn't in favor of GRIN as I thought before, just because of that. But overall, I'm going to go crazy and saying, I think if GRIN goes for the Radiance build on Lifestealer, I think they're going to take this one.
Okay. Well, we'll see what Double King opts for.
Only if he goes Radiance. If he doesn't play the way I tell him to, I don't agree with it. You know, like only if he plays that specific way. Looks like it's going to be Vlad's on the Chen. Okay, I like that. I'm also interested to see what Flea does with this Phoenix. You know, we're seeing a lot of different sort of ideas coming out from him. One thing I'd like to see is if they go for like the max, not the max dive, but you get 2 points in dive, and then you get the Sun Ray later, or you take the Sun Ray at level 4. Because this spell is pretty garbage early on.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a 2-2 split. Flea expecting something through his Fire Spirits round, but didn't find anything. Like this, Blink already trying to kick Double King out of the lane as much as possible, and he's going to block the creep wave, so they're going to make sure that the first wave goes all the way into the tower and bounces off. So this is a cool move. I like this.
I do, and Chen plus Chen's like this as his weakest stage, right? There's no creeps for you to get before the minute mark anyway, and holy moly, that
he is dead already.
Blood grenades, all you really need. That situation of damage over time brings him down. Z-Freak, this is going to be a bit of a fun lane. It's going to be Phoenix and Wind Ranger. Both of them have a bit of mobility, but if they lose out, they're fairly easy heroes to bring down. You know, Phoenix has a big health pool, but you often are running around like 70% health just because your spells use your health anyway. Yeah, it's a double range. I do think the top lane should go pretty well for Bammysoy. Mid lane is going to be Ember Spirit versus the DK, which it should be fairly even. For now, though, the DK is doing really nicely, almost 4 times the CS.
Bottom lane, Double King taking so much damage already. So that early move where it bounced off the tower, they use that extra distance away from the tower to be able to chase down Lifestealer. Take advantage of their level 2 tide as well. Like that, Blink stayed out of the lane to ensure that Moo would get level 2 if they killed all the creeps on the first wave. They didn't get anything denied. He got his level 2 and immediately got a gush kill out of it. That was cool.
That is and it pays off for them very nicely so far. Well, there's a decent amount of creeps though here for Double King for him to actually, you know, get the creep boy near his tower and be able to farm up in relative safety, we can say. But overall, bottom lane going well, and then top 3, the CS all favoring Bammysoy right now. First blood as well, and getting second blood. So, I don't know if you have enough to be very aggressive either, right? Like Chen, if you can get a good creep, is okay, but Lifestealer is not amazing at securing kills. He's not a great lane partner as a carry.
Yeah. I like just now noticed Double King is apparently he's a Lifestealer player, man. Goddamn. Grandmaster tier Lifestealer.
Oh, kudos for him. Of all the heroes, though, I feel like Lifestealer of all the heroes, like this is not a fun hero to be Grandmaster with. It's not like Morphling where you're like, oh my god, this guy, he's really something.
Yeah, it also makes me question like that hero has not been very meta for a lot of years now. So he was grinding that hero. He had to have been grinding that hero sometime in the last, 4 or 5 years, and I feel like Lifestealer has been pretty off meta most of the time. So
it does a nice move though. He does use the rage before the thing spawns, the Lotus, and picks it up. So he's able to get it before Blink, which is very nice. Did it ever annoy you when the healing Lotus used to spawn at like 3 and 2 seconds. And you're there at the minute mark. It doesn't spawn. You're like, come on, what's happening here?
Oh yeah. Same happens with the rune sometimes and stuff like that. Yeah, that was very annoying. When it comes to like the small margins of laning phase, like that is definitely one of those timings that everybody plays around right now. So for it to be there at the right time is pretty important.
Yeah, and you'd be there at the right time. The other guy isn't, but he comes exactly as it spawns. You're like, what the hell is this? Like this ain't fair. But all right, laning phase. Look at the mid though. Again, the Dragon Knight, he's got what's he got? 10 denies. That's almost as much as the Ember Spirit has in terms of CS. Lund is really suffering here, and there's not much he can actually do. He can't go toe to toe with the Dragon Knight, who's just better stats overall, a lot more durable. 2 points in the Dragon Blood as well with the Bracer, 12 health regen a second.
Yeah, this is, I mean, melee matchups versus Dragon Knight are definitely not the best, but I think Ember Spirit is certainly one of the worst ones out there. I mean, there's just not much you could do, as you said, against the stat bonus that Dragon Knight has, the minus damage that comes out of Breathe Fire, and then Dragon Tail. I mean, Dragon Tail just ensures you pretty much are guaranteed to get a certain number of denies in a lane, because there's nothing you can do about it.
He just runs into a full creep wave, tanking them, and he walks out happy. He's like, all right, Lund, I still managed to do what I needed to do. He just walks up to him. And this is when the mid top lane might be a bit of action here.
Yeah, big dive, double king, gonna get burnt out. Nice flame break, pushing back. Rage immediately. Doesn't take that much damage from it, but Gush is coming up, and that's gonna not kill him, but slow him down. If he lands the anchor smash, it's enough.
And he gets him in the end. And Z-Freak is here. Can they kill Bloody Knight as well? They'd love to get this +1. He's fairly low. Can they find him? Oh dear. I think he's dead.
Yeah, level 2 Sprout doing a decent amount of damage. The final right clicks come in. Z-Freak, he is going to be in some trouble though, as Flea counter-rotated. Got the damage in. Roshan's coming in and he claims the kill. Runs over Z-Freak and takes the kill away from Flea.
I think that was intentional. I think he knew that was going to happen. He just wants into it, He's like, all right, the car's coming. I'm going to jump. Anything other than give you the kill. So really well played there by Z-Freak. That was both wonderful for his team and hilarious to watch at the same time. So good entertainment there. What is not entertaining, though, is Lund is having half the CS of the Dragon Knight. He just goes and, like, there you go. Harasses, zones him out of the lane. And in this situation, it's basically a lot. Holy crap, is he gonna go here? It's like a lost lane. You have to bring people to rotate, or there's nothing you can do. You can't actually even reach the creeps.
Yeah. I mean, even if he did do better and got level 6 at the same time, the other part of this matchup, right, is that Ember Spirit, typically you're going to want to
rotate.
Kick the mid laner out of lane by spamming Slight on him, and then rotate at some point with Remnants. But you can't do either one of those things against Dragon Knight just because he'll take your tower.
Yep, it's like one of the problems when you go mid against a Dragon Knight, a Pugna, or a Death Prophet is that if you want to rotate, you lose your tower. It's like one of those guaranteed things, like, oh, I'm going to move around the map, but I'm also going to be losing something. So you have to make sure these kills actually happen. And at the moment, if he does rotate, you can't kill the Tidehunter, but Clinks is an option if you can get on top of him.
Yeah, it is. And that Clinks is not doing the best in CS, despite the early first blood that they got over the Wind Ranger. Looks like Dota's actually recovered really nicely. 40 and 5 second in CS.
He's got a double Wraith Band as well. It's going for full up Magic Wand and Power Tread, so a lot of decent stats. I say a lot of stats, but he still has 860 health, which isn't super tanky. But physical damage at least is not much of a factor for them. As look at Clinks. He is with the Falcon Blade. What's he going to build after this? Oh yeah, well, you said Orchid is probably the best option, we believe, in this game.
Yeah, I'm always a little bit curious about the. I think, like, obviously it's hugely matchup dependent, but I think a lot of different players would actually do different things in a game like this. Because I remember I was going through Yuragi's build, and then it was Ame. I was checking him out. Ame was much more prone to go for early Orchid, Yatoro was consistently going Deso, which I think is like a harder scaling build, right? Like if you get the Deso, you're guaranteed to be able to continue farming neutrals really efficiently, especially ancients, right? So it'll kind of guarantee you hit your later timing a lot stronger. But Orchid, as you said, it's a fantastic Orchid game. It's just, I think it's just all dependent on like how do you want to play this Clinks, right? Do you want to hit your Bloodthorn timing really strongly and guarantee that, or do you want to hit the early Orchid timing? You get these pickoffs that are kind of free, right? Get it on Ember Spirit, get it on Phoenix. Those are free kills. Yeah,
but and like we said, you get the early Deso. The earlier you get a Deso, the more the damage racks up for your team. And oh, Z-Freak, is he gonna get it? Oh, come on! He just. Did you see that? He just steals it right from underneath him. I mean, he's gonna pay with it for his life, but I don't think he cares. He could have actually TP'd out, but he just kind of stayed there for fun, I guess, giving away a kill, but stealing the Wisdom Ruin, which is huge.
Oh yeah, like, that is massive, especially on a support like Phoenix, especially, right?
I mean, like the Chen heal is nice, but the Phoenix Egg is so necessary, and not only do you make sure that they don't get, but you get it. You know, you get like the double value, basically a free level. Oh dear, double king.
Coming around from behind, Samson going through the portal and making an early rotation to kill Double King, and they've got him dead to rights. So they take another one of those pickoffs. I mean, I feel like the best laning phase teams right now in this meta are the teams that use the portal the most efficiently. Right?
Yes.
They have their carry make these kind of moves where they get the kill on the enemy carry, they go back through the gate, their offlaner and support take the tower for them. It's such a massive swing of momentum in that one.
It's even, I mean, I'm seeing this more active thing where even the mid lane, right? Like you see them rotate around the 6.5 minute mark to make sure they get a kill and take a Wisdom Ruin. A lot of times as well. That's another one. It's just so coordinated, the way the teams are being played. It's like, all right guys, we're gonna work together, we're gonna do this objective. It's no longer like, okay support, go get Wisdom Ruin, I don't give a damn about you. It's always fun to watch. What isn't fun to watch if you're a GRIN esports fan is this 3,000 deficit you're suffering with. It's pretty scary, and the guy who's gonna turn it around, your Ember Spirit, he's not having a good game.
No, he's not. They may have to wait for a different timing here as Lund with a smoke move comes up the top, but Samson seems pretty aware of this. He's going to run into them. They drop the sentry now, but the rotation's already coming out from Bammysoy. So Samson's not really that afraid. The Ravagers are going to cover him. They get the kill onto the Chen, no problem. And now Lund has to jump away to his Remnant. He's going to have to throw another Remnant out with the physical damage he's taken so far. He's going to be in trouble. He has nowhere to run to. Blink on the other side of that Remnant. Lund accepts his death. There was nowhere he could go. He was completely trapped.
And he doesn't have Searing Chain, so even when they found the Clinks, he actually has no way of holding him. You know, he's going for the maxed, I think it's max Flame Guard, 2 points in the Sleight of Fist. That is scary, because you really need him to sort of hold people down for you. Dodd is having a game, but can Dodd actually turn this around? This is going to be a tower. It's going to be, what, the third tier 1 tower falling for Bammysoy? This is a much bigger advantage than we saw in game 1.
Yeah, they're doing this against a Chen lineup, which usually the shoe is on the other foot, right? It's usually the Chen lineup who's taking your tier 1 towers, but Bammysoy are taking it away from the Chen lineup. I mean, these guys just have like a really strong identity when it comes to getting these early rotations and tower kills.
Lund, he's in a scary spot, but he's able to jump out, but Dodd might not be able to pick it out.
Yeah, gets caught with lasso. And huge burst damage coming in as the ladder bounces of the Wrath of Nature build up and strike him down from half HP.
He's gonna go for Spirit Bells. Z-Freak is doing the damage. Dude, Z-Freak is a core. Look at that. He is basically a core at this game, and that's one of the things that Nature's Prophet gives you. When you talk about like scaling, he can be everywhere, getting assist gold. He can farm lanes just by pressing R. Like the guy does damage. This is why Nature's Prophet is such a good hero, and definitely does not deserve any nerfs.
Oh, God. Are you a Nature's Prophet player?
I like our friendship to continue, so I'm going to say no.
Oh, my God.
Hey, look, I love the global
You know,
presence.
that's my most hated hero in Dota.
I know.
For years, it's been Tinker. For years. But this hero has just become too busted. Good rotation. Dot finally getting on top of the clinks when he needs to. Gets the shackle off of it. Oh, God. Please tell me they're going to kill him. They do. The power shot finishes him off. No problem. Didn't have the diffuser blade yet, but, you know, Wind Ranger. There's something about this Wind Ranger, man. I love having a Wind Ranger on my team because I know I'll just never run out of a damage, you know?
Yeah, she did what she needs to do just now, and even with the double Wraith Bam, which doesn't give you her particularly, you'd rather have the bracers, it still worked out fairly well, and the diffusal is going to come out soon. And it's a pretty good diffusal game if you can get on like the Tidehunter, just because he doesn't have a huge mana pool. Although with the I was gonna say with the healing lows, but he just eats it straight away. So yeah, at least you are able to bring down. That double Lotus means that Flea hits level 6 at the 12-minute mark. Damn! You usually expect your supports to be hit level 6 around like, you know, 8.5, 9. So this is why the Wisdom Ruin, losing it hurts you so much.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, they just had no fighting power to be able to stop these towers from being taken. If your supports aren't level 6 and the enemy supports are, it's just like a massive difference. Those sort of differences, I think pro teams have gotten so good at being able to judge that, and we talk about like the level 2 timing, right, on side lane, right, where it's like, oh yeah, we're level 2, they're not, like they instantly go on that timing, they get a kill, they build that laning phase advantage off of it. It's the same thing here. If you steal the enemy wisdom rune, you get your level 6s first, and you know, these teams, they're good enough to be able to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, that's what I like about Dota, is like, you don't have to, it's not about your net worth, it is about how you compare to the other team. So if you're way ahead, it's like, it doesn't matter if you don't have that big item that you were waiting for, it's like, you're still way ahead, and you are still much stronger than them. As Mu takes on this giant ancient stack. What is this, a 4? I believe it's a 4 or a 5 stack, and he just clears it up, almost gets the most farms hero of their game right now.
Yeah, and he's going for the Dragonites taking the enemy ancients as well at the same time. So they are completely out efficiencying them.
Yeah, they're eating happily, and he's going for the Maid Slayer Vlad's build on Tidehunter, which is a great way of mitigating all the damage that you receive. You know, it's like, oh, magic, I don't care. Physical, no problem. Mu's looking like might be unkillable actually.
Yeah, that's how you know an item is broken. Is the like. Theoretically, you should not want to have multiple of this item, right? But it's so good that it's so worth it that you could do it because, hey, good Ravage, that's going to be able to make sure that the Phoenix, immediate buyback though, maybe they could turn this around still. Double King at half health with the Phoenix still trying to TP in. Gets here now, gets off a couple of dives, good and fast. Heals up one. Ooh, good deny there off the neutrals. They get off the egg immediately dealt with though. Lee comes back, dies immediately, doesn't win the fight for his team, and loses the carry for it.
That's how Flea's net worth is basically nothing because of that dieback just now. And we said it, there's nothing really protecting the egg, right? You egg, and he eggs kind of in the middle of a lot of people, which is not gonna be the best. So very unfortunate situation for them right now. They lose, well, okay, they lose the Bat Rider, which isn't much, but they're still very, very happy here on top of Bammysoy.
I mean, even then, the Bat Rider got himself killed on neutral creeps. So
yes.
The one kill, he didn't even get the bounty for it.
All right, I know. Do not look at the net worth. Just don't show. Oh, no, they're gonna show us the net worth, aren't they? It is brutal right now.
Yeah. I mean, we said that GRIN was, you know, they were keeping pace in the first 15 minutes of game 1. This one is not close at all, man. Bammysoy, they heated up and they took over this one early.
NA's finest, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're bringing you. Yeah, it was a little bit of a one-sided game. Only 2 kills for GRIN Esports here, and how are you able to get kills here? If you can find the Clinks, the Bat Rider, or the Nature's Prophet alone with the Wind Ranger, you can get kills, but I don't think they're gonna give them that opportunity.
Yeah, you pretty much have to stay away from these guys right here. Stay away from the Dragonite. You're not killing him anytime soon. And now that Mu has his Mage Slayer, you're not doing any damage to this guy. You've got Kraken Shell maxed out, you've got 14 armor, and you've got the magic resistance to back you up. Let alone if he hits you and takes away your magic damage. So you got to dodge the Dragon Knight, you got to dodge the Tide Hunter. Play elsewhere on the map and just trying to get these pickoffs on Nature's Prophet and Clinks, which they do get that. Get the Nature's Prophet. Now look for another one. Focus fire on the Tide Hunter. That's not going to do very much. Dodd, he's tickling the Tide at this point in time.
But he's got, at least Mu doesn't have any mana, but King of the Ticket, we can see Double King, he's going deep. He wants to try and find anyone here.
Yeah, he gets on top of the Bat Rider, gets over to the other side of the cliff. Double King still able to keep on top of him though and finish him off. Now Lund, he's jumping in. Mu doesn't have the mana for Ravage. The constant Diffusal Blade pinks are capable low enough. The Supernova used a lot more defensively this time around. And all of Bammysoy are going to retreat behind their cores. Mu looks like he's going to hit by the power shot, slow down long enough that Double King will get on top of him, gets him with the slow, and they'll finish him off. So GRIN, oh no, an attempt to TP away in the last second of the rage, but it fails, and Bobby with the stuns stops him from TPing away. Not able to finish him off though. Can't run into all these heroes from the side of Grim, so they let him go.
Still a huge victory for GRIN. You know, I'm surprised they were able to kill the Titan, but they kept him at low mana. He had Ravage, he used the one, he wanted to use it, but just instantly takes a hit, and they could get... Oh, not even mixed up. All right, we have... maybe too early to say a game, but we have a good skirmish on our hands at least, just now. So well played by them. This Diffusal on Dot doing great work for them. By the way, Ember Spirit's got... Oh god, what's he got? Something's coming on the career. I think it's Mage Slayer. It's probably the finished Mage Slayer. Alright, thank god. So,
well, that'll help a bit, but Double King getting caught here trying to farm this bottom area jungle, and that is going to push Z-Freak to an Orchid. That is very bad. This support is probably the biggest difference in net worth. Nice Ravage once again catching Flea before he can get a chance to I was gonna say Supernova, but he was actually still on cooldown, so that was a dead team fight for sure.
This... the thing is, if you're GRIN, you don't actually have the same ability to split push as you did in the previous game, because anywhere you show Z-Freak could just teleport it, stop you. Phoenix and Ember Spirit are pretty good, but the Orchid is just super scary, as you just mentioned here, that Z-Freak picked up. You can't stay in your base. It's tough. It's a very tough situation for GRIN Esports. We'll have to see if they can actually wait for Bammysoy to make a mistake. Because when you're this far behind, there's not much you can do. You have to wait for the enemy to throw. Right. Not the best situation to be in, but sometimes this is how it works out. They're circling around the move, but I don't think they're ever going to jump on him. Oh, they're going for someone else though.
But again, trying to pick off the Nature's Prophet where they can. Z-Freak is a freebie, so bring him down, though he does already have his Orchid. They're going to try and chase down the Dragon Knight as well. Don unable to get the damage to stop the blink away, though.
Big kill. Even though it's only like the position 5, he is very far below that position 5 Nature's Prophet. That is a lot of gold, and you are also very far behind anyway, so it's all against Amber. It's 1,000 gold just from killing the Nature's Prophet. You need to do that approximately, what, 12 times? And we're equal.
Yeah.
In every way.
One way to look at it, stun on Lund. He should be perfectly fine. Just a bit of a poke there from the Dragon Knight, and just to push back the Ember Spirits. But GRIN are spread out on their other cores. They're farming away in the side lanes, so they're doing what they can to recover the net worth.
Double King is going for this Deso, which I feel like is a very risky pick on the Lifestealer, because when you get it, you do get a bit more damage, but you're kind of relying on getting kills to sort of snowball with it. It's still useful without it. Whereas if you get Radiance, you get this big power spike that later on tapers off, but at least kind of sustains you for the few minutes after that you get it. I don't feel like the Deso gives you the same amount of potential when you pick it up, but we'll see.
Samson, meanwhile, he's got his Deso with the extra 6 damage already off of some of those early fights, and he's going to be building towards an Orchid, which I would say is helpful in shutting down the Ember Spirits, but it feels like he's already shut down, whether from the laning phase, the initiations that are happening, or now dead in the water from the Tide Hunter. This is no longer an Ember Spirit game.
No, it's not. I mean, from the laning stage, he just suffered so much against the Dragon Knight, and now it's like, yeah, he picked up Mage Slayer, but they're just always on top of him. I especially like the way that Z-Freak was able to follow him when he in the fight in the top lane, where he was like, "Oh, are you gonna throw the remnant, or are you gonna go here?" That was really well played by them.
Z-Free trying to steal away another Wisdom Rune. Double King, though, was positioned to kick him out beforehand.
Well, if GRIN could get that Tormentor, that could help them. You know, you get that shot on the Phoenix. It does add a lot of damage to Sunray during the egg, but it's also a bit of a risky play here. So we'll see if they're thinking about it or not. Yeah, we're grouping up bottom, which makes it feel like they're going to smoke or go for Roshan. Yeah, that's it. It's going to be Roshan.
They're going to need to move fast. Clinks, he brings down Roche pretty damn quickly. Four-man smoke up might be able to get there in time. Already pre-scanning, seeing if anybody from the side of GRIN is going to be able to get here in time.
Too late. I think there's no way. Even when they smoke, it feels like they're also focusing on pushing out the lane, getting those creeps dead, which is the right move, but not when you want to go for Roche straight away. As 9-man smoke.
Yeah. GRIN still sticking around, seeing if they could take a fight around this ward that they have, seeing if Bammysoy will stumble into it. But I like that read of Bammysoy. Immediately smoking up off of the Roshan play and being wary of that. I think a lot of teams, that's been like a development of meta. A lot more people, when you smoke up and try and contest Roshan, they take Roshan, and you're like, well, if we fight around a high ground, we can still win that fight. It just doesn't mean, it isn't the end of the book.
And especially with that, they had that cliff where they had their wards there. They're kind of ready for that fight. If they, it's a little bit of they catch them by surprise. Whereas a high ground defense, you're like, I know where they're going to be. So gonna be caught. Lund moves back just in time. He is 2 levels behind the enemy support. Damn.
Yeah, it is a rough one out there for him.
Well, for now, they're defending, so it's kind of good if you can keep them there when you egg, but it's not the best situation here. As bottom lane, Dot is pushing out the lane pretty decently. That's the nice thing about power shots, right? You can shoot from a mile away, get yourself a couple of creep kills, and it's like, alright, I can't push it out. As he does have the Aghanim Shard on the Bat Rider, which is nice. I mean, gives you more damage, but it's not the best shard in the world.
Yeah, that is really weird that he actually, yeah. Unfortunate that you get it, but what can you do? Gets a lasso, pulls into the Ragnite stun, and then dead in the water for a very dead Ember Spirit.
Do you ever, were you ever playing the game? I'm sure, I mean, you were playing the game, but did you ever see it when Bat Rider's lasso naturally didn't disable him? And you would lasso and hit people, and people would get Mask of Madness on Bat Rider? It's like blink. Yeah, that was the best.
There's that Orchid going to work. Double King almost getting 100 to 0'd. In fact, yeah, that's going to be a dead Life Stealer. Blinks is very much online and ready to decimate people. He hasn't even hit his Bloodthorn timing, so it's only going to get worse from here for GRIN. Needing a way Bammysoy to somehow give them a lifeline back into this game.
They do have buyback on Double King. They really do want to bring him back. Oh, it feels like it'll be a very last-ditch effort if they do that. But alright, Samson, they are slowing him down.
You should be able to burn him out, no problem. That's going to be the Aegis. Now the Supernova laid over the top, so when he comes back in, they're going to try and get the stun and immediate kill on Samson, but the Ravage comes through. Holds back and now turns that damage back onto the Ember Spirit, easily blowing him up with everybody here from the side of Bammysoy. They're going to run over GRIN and possibly chase them out of this game, though looks like many of these heroes are going to be able to get back to their tier 4s without dying. Dot is now going to burn out of Moo once again. All of his mana gone, and with Double King back into play, they have the damage to be able to burst him down.
Yep, you're dead.
Get
pretty
a
successful
kill out of it. Not too bad, yeah.
Yeah, pretty successful. The Aegis was removed, they killed Moo. They lose their tier 3, but their racks are still standing. It's still a pretty tough situation, but they are able to hold. The egg was interesting, you know, I was like just hoping for it to sort of pop the moment he comes back. It was an interesting idea, but you need more people to hold him down. Now, if you're GRIN, if you could get another pick off, you can really put Sammy Boy sort of on the back foot, because they don't have Aegis. They'd love to sort of keep up the aggression, but if you lose Aegis, then you lose a fight, you'll be like, okay, let's not fight too often now. 99. Okay. Wow, tell us how you really feel, Gavin.
Yeah, does not like the chances for GRIN here. And understandable. 18,000 net worth lead for Bammysoy against GRIN just 26 minutes of the game. And they're pretty much one team fight, maybe even one pickoff from losing a lane of barracks. Or hell, just one misposition here because Samson, he's just going to go straight forward. Backdoor protection's down, and he'll take the range barracks. And the skeleton is not going to be able to finish it off, so survives on 40 HP.
Man, I feel really bad for London this game. Like, this is just not good. Oh, well. Me, I also feel bad for him, but he's not going to be able to survive with this one, even with Infest's help coming out.
Windranger just going for it. Manta trying to dodge what he can, but he gets stunned up by the Dragonite. Not quite enough to finish up the Clinks. They're trying to body block as best they can, but Double King does manage to finish off that kill. He kills the enemy carry, but is he going to be able to get out? He just has to turn and fight as best he can. The Sunrise is going to be able to help out. He turns back onto the damage, onto the Tidehunter, but the Supernova does end up dying. Fighting up against these two heroes, the Lifestealer doesn't really run out of HP until Seafree comes in and makes a difference here between these Spirit Vessel and the Orchid. They'll put him down. That was the final fight for GRIN. They fully understand the position that they were in game 1 when they called GG, and they understand that game 2 is equally over. No real chance of coming back here. So Bammysoy 2-0 GRIN, and we'll be moving on to face up against the loser of the Nouns versus Shopify Rebellion series.